Culinary Kits for Kids, and today's recipe is a spinach and cheese stuffed mushroom. So you guessed it, we're gonna be using mushrooms today. It's gonna be very delicious. So you're gonna have some mushrooms in your kit, just like these. You're also gonna have some garlic cloves in your kit. You're gonna have some Italian breadcrumbs, which just means they have Italian seasoning in them. You're gonna have some spinach and some cream cheese. So what you're gonna need from your pantry is you're gonna need some salt and pepper. You're gonna need any kind of oil you have at home. And this is optional, but you can do it if you want to, okay? These are red pepper flakes, and you only need about a pinch. So this is definitely optional. What we're gonna do first, guys, is we're gonna get some heat on our pot. I have this little pot that I'm gonna work with today. And I just have my stove at a medium heat right now. I'm letting it get nice and hot. And I'm just gonna put about half of this oil that I have into my pot, because we're going to be wilting down our spinach with that. So while this gets hot, we're gonna wanna get a little napkin, like a paper towel. And what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna kind of just brush your mushroom. And you could get it damp if you want, but you could already see how some of the dirt is coming off on my mushroom and onto my paper towel. So what you want to do is just give it a light brush. You don't want to really soak your mushrooms in water, because they do kind of tend to soak the water in like a sponge. So a good rule of thumb is to kind of dust them off. And if you have a little brush, it would be a lot easier with one of those, but we don't have one of those today. So I'm just giving my mushrooms a brush here with my napkin, trying to take all those big chunks of dirt off, because of course the mushrooms come out of the dirt, so they get dirty, just like all of our veg. And it's okay if you see like these little brown lines, that's just like the skin that is being moved, okay? You wanna make sure though that you get these big pieces of dirt off. You see that big piece of dirt? So just kind of brushing all that dirt off. Just like that. And you're gonna wanna do that to all your mushrooms, okay? You don't wanna just do one and then you get tired and you don't do the rest. So make sure that you kind of brush them all and take any excess big chunks of dirt off of them, okay? All right, and then I have one more. So you see how the skin kind of comes off? That's okay. And right here, this one has a lot of dirt on it, so I'm gonna try to kind of take it off with my napkin. There we go. Okay, so we got our mushrooms all nice and brushed. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to put our spinach into our pot, and we're gonna wilt it down. So we're gonna cook the spinach down until it gets very dark. It's gonna get very soft, and it's gonna get very shrinked. It's gonna get very small, right? So it's not gonna look like all the spinach we just put in here. So I'm just going to mix this with our oil, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little bit of salt and pepper so that it has some flavor. And all you're gonna wanna do is you're just gonna wanna keep mixing until your spinach gets nice and dark green. So as you can see, this part is already getting really dark because it touched the heat. This part is still a little light. We want all of that spinach to get really dark. Okay, so keep mixing. It doesn't matter if you don't hear anything sizzling, that's okay. The heat is really gonna wilt the spinach. Okay guys, so our spinach is wilted. Now what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna put our cream cheese right in. I'm gonna put my red pepper flakes as well. And I'm gonna chop up our garlic cloves. So we have 2 garlic cloves here. I'm just gonna take the end of the garlic clove off with my knife. Make sure my spinach is wilting and my cheese is melting. You can see it's a big block, so it's gonna take a little bit to melt. So with our garlic, I'm gonna just go down with my knife and make little pieces. And the garlic might be a little strong, right? It's gonna smell strong. but it's gonna give a lot of flavor to our dish, and it's gonna really, really brighten everything up. So what I'm gonna do is, after I made those pieces, I'm gonna go through with my knife and I'm gonna make smaller ones, okay? That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just dicing up the garlic. So you don't want too big of pieces, right? Because garlic is very strong. So if you have a really big piece and it's not cooked all the way through, it's gonna be very spicy. It's a different type of spice, okay? It's like a ginger spice. It can be very spicy. All right, so I got my garlic chopped up. I'm gonna throw the garlic into our cream cheese mixture with our spinach. Perfect. Now we're gonna want to really, really melt the cheese in here, okay? So this is where you really wanna just mix and mix and mix, okay? Our cheese is almost melted, so we're gonna work on our mushrooms. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna carefully twist the stems out. You don't have to use a knife or anything. All we're gonna do is take the stems. So you're just gonna carefully kind of take them out with your hand, just like that. And you can save these stems for later. They're still good. They can still be cooked. You could put them in a pasta. You could put them over pizza, in a salad, anything you want, you can use them for. So I'm just kind of spinning them out. I'm twisting them, grabbing them, twisting, and the stem comes out. Okay. And now we're gonna make our topping, which is our crumble. So you're gonna get your breadcrumbs. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt and pepper in there. And then with the remainder of our oil, we're gonna throw that into the breadcrumb. We're just gonna give it a good mix. And it should be very crumbly. See how it's getting very crumbly? That's what we want. We want those little crumbs. A little crumbly mixture. Perfect. All right, once we mix this, we're gonna set this to the side. Mix our cheese up. We don't wanna burn it, right? We just want it to be melted with our spinach and our garlic and our red pepper and our cream cheese. I'm gonna throw just a little bit more salt and pepper in here to give it some nice flavor. Okay, I'm gonna turn my heat off. So our cream cheese mixture is melted. Put that on the side right here. Now I'm getting a spoon, everybody, and what I'm gonna do is I'm kind of gonna scoop out the little inner part of the mushroom, okay? And like I said, save this part. You don't need to throw it away, but we're just gonna kind of hollow the mushroom out. You see that? So taking all of this little inside out with our spoon, and you wanna carefully do it too, because if you go too far, you can cut the mushroom in half or you can make a hole in it. So you wanna be very, very gentle when you're taking out the inside of the mushroom, okay? And you don't want it to take out too much either. Just kind of scoop it out. That way you have a little cup, a little bowl, right? Because we're gonna stuff them. Okay. So I'm just taking out those inside pieces, making a little hole into our mushroom. This one broke a little bit. It's okay. All right. So I'll save this for later use, but we're just gonna be using this today. So what we're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna get a baking sheet, preheat your oven to 375 with a parchment paper. So now I'm just gonna line our mushrooms up. And we're gonna fill them up with our cream cheese. So just get a spoonful of your cream cheese, put that into your mushroom, and you're gonna do that for every mushroom, okay? There we go, get all in there. Be careful though, it is very hot. This little mixture is pretty hot, right? It just came out of the stove. Perfect. Here we go. And you can always get creative, guys. If you have extra ingredients at your house that you feel like would taste good in here, throw them in here. You know, you can never go wrong with trying something new. You might not like it, but how are you gonna know? right? If you never tried. So I'm getting the last little bit of our cream cheese out of our pot. And I'm just putting it in the biggest mushroom we have here. There we go. And I'm flattening them just a little bit, just smoothing out the mixture in our mushroom. And now what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna top those mushrooms with our breadcrumb mixture. Just gonna wanna put the breadcrumbs right on top. And this is gonna give us a very crispy little crust on top, which is really nice, because when you bite into it, it's gonna have that crispy crust on top, and it's gonna be very creamy in the inside with the cream cheese. So really nice and flavorful. A lot of good flavors going on here, guys. And if you don't really care for mushrooms, that's okay. Give them a try. You might not think this tastes like mushrooms. It has so many other flavors. So don't be afraid, just give them a try. I'm just going around with all of my mixture and giving the mushrooms all the good toppings. Perfect. So now what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna put them in our oven and they're gonna cook for 8 to 10 minutes. So when they come out, I'll show you them. They're done, guys. Look how pretty they are. The crust turned a golden brown. Some of the mushrooms kind of cracked open. That's okay. I might have stuffed them a little too much. Not a problem. So I'm gonna put some on a plate so you could see how beautiful they are. Oh, they're making like a sound too when I pick them up, like psh. So watch out, okay? They might talk to you. Okay, guys, so these are our stuffed mushrooms. They look so good. I would try them, but they just came out, so they're super hot. So please, please don't get so excited and pop one in your mouth right out of the oven. They're gonna be super hot. But let us know what you think, guys. These are our spinach and cheese stuffed mushrooms, and I really hope you enjoy them.